Our goal was to make America great again, not to turn every other country into our enemy. But today, we find ourselves in the middle of a high-stakes international energy drama that could reshape not just the U.S. energy market, but global trade ties as well. In this video, we'll explore how world's bold moves, from U.S. President Trump imposing 25% tariffs on Canadian goods, to Canada's imposing 25% tariffs in retaliation, to Canada's cutting electricity exports, to leveraging oil as a political weapon. Whereas China also imposed 75% tariffs, this tariff war and the action-reaction plays are sending shockwaves through the U.S. economy. We'll uncover the ripple effects in oil exports, tariff battles, and political power plays, revealing the deep interconnections that bind our economies together. Number 1, tariff turbulence, North American trade clashes. So the escalating trade war between the US and Canada has become a battleground of tariffs, trade restrictions, and retaliatory moves. Fueled by America First policies favoring domestic production, the US has imposed sweeping tariffs on goods like steel, aluminum, and consumer products. In response, Canada, a vital supplier of energy, raw materials, and technology, has countered with proposals that may include restrictions on oil, electricity, and rare earth metals, including 25% tariffs on FMCG, which include American beer, wine, and bourbon, as well as fruits and fruit juices, including orange juice from Trump's home state of Florida. Canada would also target goods including clothing, sports equipment, and household appliances. These measures have created ripple effects across various sectors, raising prices, disrupting supply chains, and impacting energy security, which ultimately will make the consumers suffer. While imposing these tariffs, the Canadian Prime Minister said, "Unfortunately, the actions taken today by the White House split us apart instead of bringing us together." Tonight, I am announcing Canada will be responding to the U.S. trade action with 25% tariffs against $155 billion worth of American goods. Number 2, crude control, oil as a political lever. While electricity headlines steal the spotlight, Canadian oil exports are a crucial gear in the energy engine. The U.S. relies heavily on Canadian crude, with pipelines like Keystone XL and Enbridge forming the backbone of its supply. Recently, about 6.1 million barrels per day have been imported, with roughly 67% coming from Canada. But amid rising U.S. tariffs, Canadian leaders are hinting at a potential oil export cut, a move that could send oil prices surging. Even a temporary disruption might force industries to seek pricier alternatives, impacting everything from commuter fuel costs to industrial operations. This tit-for-tat maneuver underscores the interdependency of North American energy and how a slight hiccup in oil exports can reverberate through global markets. Number 3, China's retaliation, 75% tariffs on U.S. goods. The trade tensions don't stop at North America. Across the Pacific, China has fired its own salvo in this global trade war. In a bold retaliatory move, China has imposed staggering 75% tariffs on key U.S. goods, targeting industries like agriculture, automobiles, and technology. For American farmers, this is a devastating blow. Soybeans, pork, and dairy products, once thriving exports to China, are now piling up in storage, unsold and unprofitable. The tech sector isn't spared either. With tariffs on semiconductors and electronics, U.S. manufacturers are facing skyrocketing costs and disrupted supply chains. This move by China isn't just about economics, it's a strategic counterpunch in a high-stakes geopolitical game. By targeting critical U.S. industries, China is sending a clear message to U.S. President Trump that trade wars are a two-way street and the consequences are global. Number 4, Mexico vows retaliation to Trump tariffs without detailing targets. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum on Saturday ordered retaliatory tariffs in response to the U.S. decision to slap 25% tariffs on all goods coming from Mexico as a trade war broke out between the two neighbors. In a lengthy post on X, Sheinbaum said her government sought dialogue rather than confrontation with its top trade partner to the north, but that Mexico had been forced to respond in kind. U.S. exports to Mexico accounted for more than $322 billion in 2023, Census Bureau data showed. Number 5, economic dominoes, how trade disruptions impact industries and consumers. Tariffs and trade skirmishes send shockwaves well beyond boardrooms, affecting everyday consumers and industries alike. The U.S., heavily reliant on Canadian energy exports, faces potential disruptions that force industries to scramble for costlier alternatives. China's imposition of 75% tariffs on U.S. goods further exacerbates the situation, inflating costs and straining supply chains. Meanwhile, Mexico, as a key trade partner, finds itself caught in the crossfire, with potential retaliatory tariffs on American goods adding to the economic turbulence. Even minor hiccups can trigger production delays, soaring operating costs, and rising prices. This domino effect reaches all corners of the economy, from automotive manufacturing to essential services. The interconnected nature of these economies means that when one component is delayed or priced higher, the ripple effect leads to increased fuel costs and inflated product prices for consumers. If you liked the information provided, please subscribe and like the video. And do tell in the comment section what are your thoughts on the whole situation, as ultimately, we as a consumer are going to be suffering the most as the wrath of these tariffs is being rained down on us. At the end, I'd like to say one thing and also ask a simple question. Our goal was to make America great again, not to make every other country our enemy. But as we've seen, the unintended consequences of protectionist policies are far-reaching. The question now is, can we navigate this energy trade frontier without burning the bridges that keep our economies alive?